I prefer to look at proofs as two-column proofs. So I'm going to split my page down the middle. The answers have this written as a paragraph proof. So I've got my statement on the left side and my reason on the right-hand side. We can start many different ways. I'm going to go ahead and start with the given. When at a loss, it's always a good place to start. And the reason that 1 is congruent to 3 is because of the given. So here's angle 1, here's angle 3 right there. Now, I am going to change this to the measure of the angles, just because that's what we want to work with. That's what we want to use the properties of equality on. So I'm going to change this to the measure of angle 1 is congruent to the measure of angle 3, and that is the definition of congruency. I wrote congruent there, and I should have written equal. Sorry. There we go. So I've got the measure equal to the measure. I am going to talk about this angle in the middle. So what I'm trying to get to is that big blue angle right there. Go ahead and put 2 across. Is congruent to this big red angle right there. You can see that the only difference between those two angles, 1 and 3, they both have 2 in them. So I'm going to talk about the measure of angle 2 now. Measure of angle 2 is equal to the measure of angle 2, and that is a reflexive property. Property of equality. Now, I can add that angle 2 to both 1 and 3. I can do that because of the addition property of equality. So we've got the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 is equal to the measure of angle 3 plus the measure of angle 2. Barely fit that in there. And that is the addition property of equality. Now I'm going to rename these. So I'm gonna say, okay, this 1 plus 2. Okay, I need to somehow say that 1 plus 2 is AEC and 2 plus 3 is BED. All right, so let's see if we can do that. Measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 equals AEC. Nope, gotta call the angle. Measure of angle AEC, and that's my angle addition postulate, and also the angle addition postulate. Measure of angle 3 plus the measure of angle 2 is equal to the measure of angle, all right, 3 and 2, BED. Also angle addition postulate. And now I can use those two angle addition postulates, substitute. And I can say, now be careful, this feels like our last step, but it's not quite. Measure of angle AEC is equal to the measure of angle BED. And that's my substitution property of equality. And now the last thing I need to do, I need to actually say that those two angles are congruent. So I need to change it from the measures into just angle AEC is congruent to angle BED. And that's that definition of congruence that we used earlier.